I was kind of interested in psychic and medium stuff, but I wasn't going out of my way to learn like occult knowledge or anything like that. I was too busy doing art or music, or I was going to college, or I was doing shows, or, I was doing other things. I was preoccupied with other things. But when I was 33, this is where we go here. Like, big lead up. But when I was 33, I took a class. It was a 1 day, 5 hour class, and it was an introduction to mediumship. So, mediumship, dead people, right? And during this class, we were doing meditations, we were doing guided meditations. We did readings on the other students in the class. And there were some things in there that happened, and it was just kind of cool. Like, oh man, that was a coincidence, right? Or is it something more? I don't know. But nothing that was super profound. But then a couple days later, after the class, I had a spiritual awakening. And it was not something I chose. It was something that happened. And everything looked different, felt different. Who I was felt different. The way I was seeing the world was different. And I think this spiritual awakening that took place, I think it was because of the class, like something opened up there. But it was from there that I really got curious about psychic mediumship, because here I am seeing the world completely different. And what does that mean? And
Well, it goes back into your theme of this being a skill and not like a gift.
right, right. And so I started doing meditations on my own with the intention of getting information, of going there to get stuff that I could look up online or ask of people. And it took about 6 weeks, and I felt like I had enough information where I was 70% sure that this was a thing. And then I had to go big and badass and do 80 readings, free readings, just to test it out.
Was there any
And
time during all these experiences where you felt to yourself like, because you said already you felt like you were like experiencing stuff with a skill, things were happening, but were there ever days where you felt like, maybe it's all in my head, like maybe I'm just making it up and this is what I want to believe, but
right.
nothing's really going on and everything's just regular? Because other people out there will be skeptical
Oh,
about
for
this.
sure. And they should be skeptical, because until you go through it, you should be skeptical. Um, but I will say, in my mindset of being in a spiritual awakening place, there was a lot of fears that were subdued that I think opened me up more to possibility, um, and being, I guess, open to what came forward that could be truth and how that came about. Um, so having a psychic experience isn't like a hit you, over the head experience, especially when you're in a meditation gathering information. It's just you're sitting there and witnessing things. And the point is to keep your emotions at bay, because that's what fucks everything up. And so going to that place, you're not going to come across information that really makes you feel like, oh, that's psychic. It's like, am I doing it? Is this real? Am I making this up? That's like the process when you're first starting out. You're not familiar with it. You don't know what's up and what's down and what's right, what's wrong. And so the more you visit it, the more you start to understand, like, okay, this is where I've been before, where I've gotten information. So I'm just going to go with this. And then you start really pinpointing what that lane is. And the more you visit it, the more you start to trust it. And so it really takes those times of getting the information and then finding that it's evidence once you're out of the meditation for you to start gaining that trust.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where you feel like you were kind of delving too deep into it and it was putting you in a bad place? Because
Excuse me.
what comes up to mind when I ask this, and bless you, I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a little tickle in my throat.
No, no worries. It's the winter time. It's the dry air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I got a cat that sheds like a cat. Well, yeah, like a
Like a
cat,
cat, and it's a
like a
long
cat.
haired cat too.
So that doesn't help. But yeah, back to my question. Like, has there ever been a time where you felt like, and what I would describe it as would be like a bad trip? You know, you smoke a bit of pot, you feel nice, you feel easygoing, or you have a drink, you feel a bit tipsy. But like the more and more you get into it, the harder you go, the more it kind of messes up everything else.
Um, there's a couple different ways that I would answer that. First of all, I've smoked weed 4 times in my life and hated every single time because
Made you paranoid.
once I would get to that point where you're like you're there, I just want to be done. Like I feel dumb, I feel slow, and I fucking hate this. Like get me out of here. And there's no getting out of there. Like you're in it. You're in it.
Yeah, you're stuck until it passes.
And so like this is the good thing about being in a meditative state. If you're not happy there, like get out. Like you don't need to be there. You choose to not do that. But I will say, visiting it and really finding value in this place really puts your social world in a weird place because there's a connection in that sort of spiritual realm that feels so natural and everything feels nice. Social world, everything sucks because nothing's natural there. There's a lot of you that's made up there. The point, the the hope is to kind of merge the two worlds together. And that's where bringing the authentic you is what merges those worlds together. Does
But
that
like
make
to me, this
sense?
sounds no, it makes sense. But like to me, it makes sense because it sounds like you said meditation, but it sounds like I don't know what to call it, Buddhism. It sounds like like you're meditating, you're finding your inner chi, your inner zen chakra, like there's so many
Mm-hmm.
words for it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like trying to reach like some expanded cosmic consciousness. You're trying to like kind
That's
of
too much work.
expand your mind beyond your like mortal body. Like that's what comes to mind. Like it sounds similar to that stuff.
You know, um, there's a lot of words in there. And what I found is that this stuff is dumb simple. It's like we think so intellectually about everything, but this is really primal stuff. I really do believe that this was stuff that was available to ancient humans, ancient civilizations. That's like what we were talking about earlier with shamans and all these, the village,
Druids, shamans, wise
yeah,
men, medicine
the village
people.
oracle, and like I think it was very prevalent because I think it was more, you know, more natural at that point. And then we started getting civilizations, and then people wanted power of the people from the people. So I should say that. And that's where all this shit
Yeah,
stopped.
but this is actually a good segue into the
Mm.
other part of the conversation for this podcast.